heading back to that big oak tree that's down the road from home, the one I've been calling the roadside logging. So I've got a guy that's wanting, I already delivered some of that wood to a man, and he was so happy with it. He said he wanted, I think, 2 more loads. So that's what I was saying. It can season when it's been down for a while. So that roadside logging oak, that's the one I delivered him, and he liked it a lot. He just wanted it a little shorter next time. So you may not have seen this, but in some of my videos I've got some wood piled at home, but a lot of that's kind of short and a lot of people don't want it. So I asked him if he's interested in that, because good seasoned hardwood, and he said yeah. So I've already got the bed filled up probably a good 3/4 of the way or so. Anyways, that's one of my goals for today, is to get that done. Poor tripod. He gave it all for the cause. My goodness, these tripods are like heat. They're like, I don't know. The wood is like heat seekers to them or something. Wow. Oh, it didn't completely destroy it. Okay. This Johnson Red did pretty good, all things considered anyways, because as I've said, the carb is not the right carb, and it's not opening up as much as it needs to, but it had a good sharp chain on it, and I tried not to, push it, but every now and then it would still stall, just because it's just, the throttle isn't opening up the way it should, so the RPMs aren't going nearly as high as they could if the throttle was opening up. That saw has so much more power than what I'm getting out of it, and then because of that carb, I'm not able to utilize that power. But all in all, it did pretty good here. This is a huge log. I got it bucked up pretty much the whole thing. There's a section there near the middle, you can kind of tell where there's a big knot, and I kind of skipped over that for now. I do plan to get the rest of the wood though. I think I'm giving up on that Johnson Red just yet. It did great on this oak log. And look at it. I've got this whole thing bucked up in one run all the way up through there till I got to the fence right around. You can see where the sawdust is up there. That's around where I stopped, and I've got them bucked in around 14-inch sections. So that's great. That Johnson Red did great. This is big, dense, solid oak. Once I got to that knotted section right there, I kind of skipped by it. I'll show you. So got 1, 2, 3. These are around 14 inches. 4, 5, 6, 7 right there. This is all going uphill. I got to this big knotted section here, and I skipped past it. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 right there. That one's a little longer because I already had that cut in it up there already, so I just went on through with that cut. But yeah, it's cutting good. It surprised me right there how good it did, that old Johnson Red, with that carb that isn't even the right carb on it. So that is a great saw. I don't intend to get rid of that one. What I'm going to do probably is just try to get the correct carb for it and put that on it. That way I've got my full throttle. And you may not understand what I'm talking about later. I'll get in there and show you. We had to modify that carb for it to make it work with this saw, and it just doesn't open up all the way the throttle doesn't. Here's the fence right here though. See this barbed wire fence, I landed on it, and I've got that one almost all the way cut through. And then there's that section here, which is probably a good 8-foot section of oak, big oak. As you can see, it's huge. You may not can tell how huge exactly, but it's a big tree, really big tree. But as I said, I've got all of that except for that knotted piece there,
This one's a little long. This is probably more like 18 inches. He was wanting 14, so that's what I went for with all that. But you can see the sawdust where it threw it all over the place there. But I mean, I did that all in one run. You can see it just up a hill pretty good. Now from up here, you can kind of tell. You can see there's my truck down there. So that kind of shows you how much uphill it goes, you know, how aggressive the incline is. Yeah, that one kind of, I knew that was loaded earlier, that one, but I did not expect it to throw that branch like that. So thank goodness it didn't get me, but it got my old tripod. He's took a lot of hits. Well, they have. That one's not even that old. I went through probably a good 8 tripods or something since I've been doing YouTube, maybe 10, which I feel like is quite a bit. But anyways, I've got all that buck. Now it's a matter of separating it because it's still on the bottom. It's not all the way cut through. You can see like right there, it needs to go a little bit further. And now that down there, I've got that one pretty much separated from there, right there down. That's pretty much separated. You can see this is kind of holding it up right here. So I may just come back and try to split some of, cut some of these, buck them the rest of the way through. And then what I'm going to do is try to roll these things down that way on the flatter ground. It is going to be in the sun though, but that's my goal. I'll probably get some of them logs down there, some of those rounds, and kind of stand up, and that way I can make a wall to just aim for and hit. I'm gonna aim for that wall when I push them down, but this heat today is brutal. Around 96. All right, there's the wall I made over there. See that little wall there? And right up, going up there is the tree. So I'm sitting over here in the shade right now, but I'm planning to roll them down to there and then have my truck parked right on the other side of this little wall with the tailgate down, and I'll split it right around there, and then I'll throw it over and load it into the truck. I've already got probably around, maybe not quite 3/4, maybe a little over half of a bed in there right now, some of the stuff I had at home. I'm taking a little break though. It's 95 degrees today here in Kentucky, 95, and it feels like it. It feels like it. So I've never had a heat stroke as far as I know, but I think I've come close before working in tobacco one time when I was about 19 years old, 18. Maybe 17 actually. I think I was 17 actually at the time. Just out in the field all day, pushing a hard pace in the sun, not drinking enough and not drinking the right stuff. You know, I was drinking soda. That's all those guys had was Sprite, I think it was, or Mountain Dew one. They had some of those in the cooler. I was drinking some of those. That's all there was, and didn't eat. And then out of nowhere, my leg completely cramped up on me so bad that I fell down. And I laid on my back trying to straighten my leg out because it was hurting so bad, and I could not stand up. I tried, and every time I'd try to stand up, I would cramp. And I literally crawled to a barn after that. I crawled through this field and crawled into the barn and laid down. So I think I was close to a heat stroke at that point in my life. Never in my life have I cramped up that bad or got that dehydrated, I don't believe, in my life. There's some of the shorter stuff I went ahead and added. I got this with me too. This is actually very handy for wood, one of these tampers right here to pry with. And I went ahead and backed my truck right up to these rounds of wood here. That way I can roll the stuff down from right there. And I'm hoping it'll go right around and hit here. And then I'll split it right here and then load it on in. It's actually starting to thunder now, which I'm happy for this to come in, really. As long as I don't get struck by lightning, especially holding this thing. Actually, let's just go ahead and do that because I don't want to be a lightning rod. But I'm fine with, you know, this cover coming in and covering the sun and and the rain and the coolness coming with it. I'd say it's dropped by 10 degrees at least, maybe 15, which I'm happy to have. But I don't want to get struck by lightning. So anyways, I'm gonna get this and I'll show you what I'm gonna use it for here. You probably don't know, but getting this tree. There went that one. Out in the middle of the field. I think I busted a vein in my finger there when I was pulling that round, trying to break it loose. It pulled back and it pinched my right here in between those rounds, and man, it hurt. I'm glad I didn't break it. I think I busted a vein. I can feel it right there when I move. May have a storm about to come in here. It's kind of looking like that. It definitely feels a lot better. I just hope it doesn't start thundering and stuff. I've got a lot of the wood down there. Still got a lot here too, though, in this tree. So let's see what we're gonna do here. Some big wood here. Some big wood. Kind of wood that can hurt you. Bark come right off. That one I don't like because I'm afraid it's going to fall on me. This one, it's barely hanging. Here it goes, see? Now if I was right there and that broke like that, that would crush me. I could tell it was barely hanging, so. This thing's good for moving the wood around. See, watch this. Look at that. Looks like it's got a hole in it, that's why. There she goes. Boom. Working for this wood, but it is well worth it. That one is connected pretty good still. That's a lot of weight right there in that wood. And see, if I pulled it wrong, it would roll right towards me and it would crush me. And literally crush me. Yep, like right there, it's about to go. And you don't want that going over top of you. That's a good 300 pounds right there with them two together, I'd say. Those rounds right there are probably 150 each, easy. 150 pounds each, easy, I would guess. So like I said, 300 pounds. You don't want that rolling over top of you. There we go, I think I just broke it. I didn't get those bucked all the way through. There she blows. Okay. Uh-oh. Here it comes. Oh yeah, that's 150 pounds easy. That's 150 pounds easy. Yep, I definitely believe so. Let go of me. Go on down there. You big behemoth. There we go. Right where I need you. Right around it anyway. Alright. I've got most of this tree now. That big knotted section, I'll probably come back for that later, buck it up some more. Right now I'm not worried about fooling with it. But I may have to go to the house, honestly, for a little bit. If it starts, because I've seen lightning over there. I don't want to get struck out here up on a hill with a big metal pole. So I may have to come back in a little bit once this clears out. This is what's left of the upper trunk there, the last section. There's their fence right there. Now they'll be able to get in here though. Once this stuff's cleared out, there's them other trees I was telling you about. See how they're bowed over? There's one there and there's one right there. So there's one here, one right there. They're both bowed over. Well, actually there's a third over there. Third over there. So there's 3 trees. Actually there's a 4th right there. 4th. So that one tree right here, this big oak falling, did a lot of damage. But it's about to storm, I believe. So I'm gonna get down this hill anyways. You can see though what I've done with this tree, you know. I left that big chunk right there. I'm gonna leave it. I've got those 2 to get down. I've got most of it down there. I've even got my truck ready for it to be loaded. There's the splitting area right there. Split there, load there. Smart way to do it. All right, I'm gonna get my stuff down here though. The old Johnson Red did good. I'm happy with it. Get my stuff down there and maybe start splitting a little. Raining pretty good on me now. Rain's really coming down, but it feels good. Got all this stuff down here though. Let's see. I got one that went over there in the field. I'll probably just pull over there. And then I've got some of this bigger stuff here. Some of that stuff there. And then I'm not messing with those trees that have been over. That's the only one I was wanting in the limb wood from it, so. all I want for today. It is hot today, extremely hot. Been out here for hours. I'm done for the day. This is what we got. Most of the tree is done.